Gulf of Pohai, up by Tinson.
How long had you been there?
We stayed there a couple of months. I don't want to know. Yeah, and coming back, our captain's he was an ex-merchant marine officer, and captain, full captain, merchant marine. But he was Naval Reserve, so he active duty in the Navy. And he and I got along good. Mm-hmm. He was a big guy, just a little bit over 5 foot, maybe 5'1" or 5'2", something like that.
Yeah?
Hatch, he was rough talking. Cussing and rough. But he was a good guy.
And you took over from him?
I used to go ashore with him. We had to go ashore and see something about it.
He was a captain, so Rob was.
Like we come to Pearl Harbor, and we had to go ashore and report into whatever it was, and some material that we had to have on the ship. The captain and I went ashore, went in the office and made the papers and all that.
This is like the boss of the ship.
But you said something about you took over from another guy because he left. The other chief engineer.
Chief engineer, yeah.
Did he get enough points? Is that what you had said? He got enough points to where he'd been there long enough?
Yeah, they sent the other guy off. I don't know if he got sent home or if he got sent to another ship. I don't know.
How long had you been in on that ship, though, when he left? Like a couple months?
No, I'd been on that ship 2 years.
2 years?
About 2 years.
Because that letter that I read that you wrote was 10 months, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
You were apologizing.
We had to go a long way from there, from Leyte. It was a lot. We used to shuttle between New Guinea and the Philippines carrying PT boats. Would load up with PT boats and come from New Guinea up to Leyte, unload them, go back again. I don't know how many times we did that. And then the last one was when we come up to go into Taiwan. Taiwan now. Same place. In Okinawa. But that's when we run into this Halsey's Typhoon.
Yeah, you wrote about that.
Yeah.
There was a few ships that went down.
Yeah, there's some destroyers that capsized.
And a lot of guys. How many guys were missing? You said like 500 or something.
Yeah,
right?
it's quite a few.
And you guys were on the edge of it, though.
Well, we were all in our positions. Convoy.
Their ship was a lot bigger than those destroyers.
Oh, really?
Well, actually, our ship was more top-heavy than the destroyer. What happened there?
It was bigger.
The Commodore of the destroyer squadron had picked up a signal from some ship that was in distress, and they turned. See, instead of heading into the wind,
they turned and went towards.
They turned at an angle to go off this way. Well, they got too far.
Too sideways.
To where they got too much side.
Too perpendicular or parallel to the storm, as
in a wave to turn the ship off.
That'd be horrible.
Because those waves are like little mountains, even the Ashland, the bow as high as it was, it'd go down right under it. Water come up all over everything.
How often did you see that, though? Were you down underneath? You tried to stay underneath out of the...
Well, to get to the engine room, starboard engine room was the main station down below decks. I'd have to come down and go through the carpenter shop, and they had a hatch there to get out onto the deck. You had to get out on deck to get out to the engine room. But on the side, they had, from the carpenter shop, the side of the ship had a railing, you know, up about so high.
Yeah.
But it was solid steel with just a pipe cap on it. And then they had pipes running lengthwise down where the deck and the hand railings were. They had pipes running along there. So what we had to do, they were strung ropes from the pipes across to this hatch that took it onto the engine room. The hatch was the thing that go, say, forward up this way. Well, that hatch would raise up like this.
Uh-huh.
And you go in and down the ladder. Well, they had ropes strung across. So
See what?
get out, you come down through the carpenter shop, get on your belly on the deck, over to the pipes. It was pretty well protected by that side. And once you get over one pipe and work yourself along the pipe.
All the while you're going up and down and water going everywhere?
Water all over the place. and you grab these ropes and work yourself over to the hatch. And you had to let the hatch, well, it was kind of like these hatches on a car, the hydraulic.
Yeah.
lift, you know.
So they wouldn't just come right up.
You'd
You'd have
just
to.
unlatch it and get it started and then it raise up.
Yeah.
You go in.
Why didn't they have, like, why couldn't you get there from underneath? They just didn't have it.
Just wasn't designed that way. You know? Before you got to the engine room hatch, there's a hatch to the boiler rooms. There's just forward of the engines, because they're all separated by bulkheads, you know.
But they didn't have it wasn't separated by just shutting a door and locking it off. You had to actually go up to the top and back down, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, to get in the boiler room, you had to go up on top of the deck.
They don't do that anymore, right?
Yeah. Depends on the location. A case like
I
that.
think most
though,
of them are like they've got a level.
well, to get
Get
in,
close to the top anyway.
the thing about this ship, instead of having the blower forcing the draft into the boiler, the fire, the whole boiler room was under pressure. So to get in there, you had to go open this door. It had these latches, and it had a glass. You just look to see if anybody's in there. Open the door, go in there, close it, and then open the other door. You go out because
it was a pressure chamber.
Because of pressure. You go from normal pressure to neutral to high pressure.
Could you feel it when you walked in there? Did you feel the pressure increase, or was it that much? I'm sure you felt a draft when you opened the door, but
yeah, well, not much. It was quick because that compartment where you go in is only about maybe 4 foot square at the most.
One, maybe 2 people could fit in there.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be clipped.
Then you had to go down the ladders to the boiler, to where the fires were. And all the boilers have what they call a register with the fuel. They have pumps that are pumping this black oil for fuel, and it has to go through a heater before it's shot through what they call a register into the firebox. And in that front of that thing, you had circular louver things that where you could adjust your air draft. But when coming from China at the end of the war, we were supposed to be a repair ship up there, but there was nothing to repair. We just anchored. Anyway, on the way back to the States then, we come down, went all the way down to New Caledonia. Guadalcanal first, went in there and loaded up electronic equipment. And they were burning, they had stacks of lumber, 100 foot high. Just stacks of lumber, burning them. And the airplanes on the field, they had got bulldozers. The plane would be right here. They get a bulldozer on both ends and mash the plane together. Wing.
was a shame.
The Japanese or the Americans?
No, that was after.
So they were just getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Just
Then they'd load
moving
it on,
out.
load it on barges, haul it out to sea and dump it.
Yeah.
No recycling.
No.
That wasn't a concept back then.
They figured it cost them more money to haul all that stuff back to the States than to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Well, they should have had stockpiles out there, and
Nope.
they should have.
Well, they should have, but it wasn't a concept back then. There wasn't a need for it. There's plenty of it back home.
Well, don't like all that lumber, pretty lumber. I used to look at that.
I know. You'd be like, God, I'd love to could build a bunch of houses with that, huh?
And burn it.
It's surprising they didn't
just
leave
like
the lumber.
You're looking at lumber yard now, huh? They have lumber stacked, you know.
Well, lumber is one thing. That seems crazy. But I mean, like technology, like planes and stuff. You can understand them destroying planes.
They had these boneyards in the States too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those that did get back.
They just sit there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, like those old Liberty ships here, but at least they tore them apart. They scrapped them.
Oh, here, yeah.
Some of them.
The scrap, yeah. Well,
but like those air yards, like that air cemetery, the airplane cemetery out west.
I know.
Same
But
with
I mean, they're there to do something with, though.
Ashland was scrapped like that too. Ashland 1.
What ended up happening?
At the end of the war, when they scrapped it, you know.
They just took it apart.
Just cut it up.
Piece by piece.
Steel.
Well, China probably went out and got that stuff now, and
Oh, I was talking about, we come from China.
Salvage.
they've been doing a lot of that.
Coming down to a Guadalcanal, there's a bunch of islands on there. And the islands, you can almost reach out from the deck and grab the trees, the bushes, and leaves, you know, as you're going by.
Wow.
It's just narrow passages through where we went, you know. And somebody had let the fuel, pumping fuel too low. Most all fuel tanks had water in them too, you know. It's somehow water gets us. And it got down to where the water put the fire out in the boiler.
So spraying water instead of fuel?
Yeah, put the fires out. So there we were. Just drifting, no propulsion, you know. Until they got that switched off, the tank switched off and started pumping good oil again. But there had to be enough steam to heat that fuel oil to be able to pump it.
Yeah, because you couldn't just cold, because it wouldn't go. They had to build the pressure up, right?
Yeah. Unless you heated, it was too thick.
Yeah. Because to
heat it, and it was more viscous, and they could shoot it through these registers.
And that's what it would that's what they would use for the fuel, right? The fuel oil would end up coming out. Yeah. Because that's the way they used to make power plants.
I don't know what that
was. Fuel oil plants.
The captain,
oil.
The captain didn't say anything about it, as I remember. But if it was some other guy, the captain could really tear him up, you know.
He
So
can
he
let
was
that
an
one go,
easygoing
huh?
guy, huh?
Yeah.
Kind of fortunate y'all had the easygoing captain.
Rough talking. He sounded mean, but he wasn't. You know.
Where was he from, do you know?
Washington, I believe. Seattle.
How long was he the captain? The whole time?
No.
No.
Maybe about a year or something like that. We had a captain, a colleague before him. He was a lawyer, a patent lawyer from Boston. Colleague was. But nobody liked him. He had he just looked like you don't like him, you know.
Not a likable fella, huh?
Although I got along with him.
Oh, Bob, you get along with everybody.
He wanted me to make what they call a capstan. I don't know if you're captain or not, if you know what it is. It's a thing they have on deck. They shape something. They can like this. And you have a dome top, and you use ropes around it, you know. Take a couple of loops of rope around it, and you can pull it, and it's got a ratchet catches on the bottom to hold it. We didn't, someplace on the ship, they didn't have a good way of doing that. You wanted me to design some capstans to be built and put, because we had machine shop, we had welding shop, carpenter shop, all that stuff.
Yeah.
They could do it all.
You got it done, and he liked you, huh?
I didn't know. I never did get around to get it finished.
Oh.
Yeah. By that time, we changed captains.
Oh.
I forgot about it.
The new captain comes on, you just do what he wants, not... Yeah. Well, there are pictures of you with the guns. Did you actually get trained to shoot those guns, or was that just you?
That was when I was a cadet, wasn't it?
It was in the beginning.
On a merchant ship.
Yeah, I was
30 caliber machine gun. We were just playing.
Yeah. Y'all had your shirts off. That was you guys with your shirts off taking pictures for the ladies back home, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell. You look like you knew what you were doing.
We had a Navy, on that merchant ship, we had a Navy gunnery crew. 6-man Navy. One of them, Croupy, he got hit in the head with a ricochet bullet.
Ricocheted, huh?
Right up behind the head. He didn't die right away, but after a while. That was before we went into Iceland. So he's buried on Iceland.
Oh, so that's in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned in that letter that you'd seen worse seas in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
But that you don't think that the Ashland would have taken some of the things that you'd seen in the Atlantic before. I think that's the way you put it in that letter.
Yeah, those waves in the North Atlantic, they're tremendous. On the Pacific, in that Typhoon, everything's going horizontal, you know. It's got waves and all, but where a wave breaks, it just takes that water in the sheet, throws it.
But in the Atlantic, it's up.
Up and down.
Go this way. Up 1 minute, you're way up, and you're looking down, there's a ship down there. Next minute, oh, there he is. They're tremendous.
And you didn't get sick with that? Which was scarier?
I didn't have sense to be scared.
You just enjoyed the ride, huh?
Duh.
Nothing was going to happen to me. Huh? It'll be all right.
Invincible.
Yeah.
The invincible youth.
How high do you think the biggest waves you saw in the North Atlantic?
I have no idea. Because the ship, the main
Well, they were
deck,
bigger than the ship.
main deck on the ship was maybe 12, 15 feet off the water, you know. And then the superstructure on the ship was up there maybe another 40 feet. And you'd be looking down in the stack. The ship next to you, you look down and you look right in the stack.
60, 70 feet then?
Yeah.
It's like that perfect storm stuff.
Yeah. Have you seen that on Discovery?
100-foot waves.
Well, what was that called? They called them, what did they call those waves? What's the name of them? Because they said back in the day that rogue waves.
Yeah.
That the captains would come in talking about rogue waves, and that they'd say they were just drunks. They wouldn't believe them, so captains started just passing it off as some freak storm. But now that they got satellites and they can track that stuff, they've been able to verify that there is such thing as these rogue waves that carry from
like undersea
earthquakes and
stuff.
Yeah, like typhoons.
Rogue waves.
And they end up being 100+ foot waves that just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Or they're talking about those oil rigs in the North Atlantic that got taken out. That's messed up. That'd be scary. Because it's one thing if you know where the storm is or where it's coming from, you just face into it, and at least you got a fighting chance. But when it's from nowhere, most of the time you're perpendicular or you're parallel to it and you're gone.
Like when I was a cadet on that ship, of course we'd been around the Caribbean back and forth, all these banana ports, Haiti and Dominican Republic, Honduras, and so forth.
Cuba.
Yeah, in Cuba, Santiago, Cuba. But then we left there and come up to New York, and then from New York went to Providence and loaded up with steel, construction steel. And then went from there up through the Cape Cod Canal up to Halifax, Nova Scotia. And it was pretty cold about that time.
When was that?
Well, it must have been right there at January or February. So,
Icicles.
ice all over the. This was after we left. Well, we left, went through the Boston and up to Halifax, and pulled in Halifax, and in World War I, there was a munition ship that exploded in Halifax Harbor, and they found the anchor from that thing. It'd gone all the way over this mountain and landed on the other side. Yeah, and they got a display of it.
Wow. The boiler blew? You said it blew up?
Oh yeah, blew
The boiler?
ship.
Was it the boiler?
No, munitions.
Oh.
It just
All of it
cleared the harbor. Yeah,
Wow.
that was World War I. Oh, well, we come up and then went into Halifax. Then they made up Convoy there. We had to get our numbers. We were in about the second ship on the port side. There'd be ships in a row here and then a whole rows this way too. And going out of the harbor was so close you'd talk to the guys on the ship next to you. Because of the entrance to the harbor, we had to go out two at a time. And then get out there in the Grand Banks and you got all this fog. You can't see nothing.
Yeah.
And the ships, during the night, the ships would get all tangled up.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be in position, but the only way they kept contact, keep from
Lines.
running into each other, was blowing their ship's horn.
Yeah.
They blow the ship's horn and they get an echo. And they get an echo, and they could judge the distance from the next ship how to echo from it.
Yeah. Huh.
Then we get out there and icebergs all in the water. And ice freezing on the rigging.
Mm-hmm.
1 inch cable might be about 6-8 inches in diameter.
Yeah.
And they strung ropes crosswise. So you'd have something to grab a hold of if you went
Slippery.
12.
Do you watch that stuff on the crab fishermen? Do you watch that on Discovery?
Yeah. Ooh, man.
That's tough stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Those guys are crazy.
I wouldn't go on that thing.
Well, there's that one captain. He was fishing for cod. That was that one season. He was just fishing cod just until the last minute before he started fishing for that crab. He's just like, cod's easy. We'll just keep doing that.
Yeah.
So
There was big money in the crab, but it was dangerous.
yeah, and then he got enough cod that he was happy, and then went after the crab. But yeah, that's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
That's I guess that from what I've seen so far, really, that's one of the scariest things. Other than not
Yeah.
focusing when you're dropping pots
Yeah.
and with the rigging on the deck.
Yeah.
Making sure, I mean, if you're focused and doing what you need to do, then it's not bad. But when it gets all iced up and you got all those pots up there and they're inches of ice on them, and
Yeah.
it gets so top heavy,
The ship
Sliding.
gets top heavy.
that's
That's why
scary.
on the island, they'd get out and the deckhands did that. I was below decks, but I could get up on that hatch on the back end and look out and see them guys knocking the ice down. Take axes and hit the cables and the ice crack up and fall.
They do like that, I bet too, huh? They just duck.
Ice all over the deck.
Crazy.
Then after you get through that, and then you go out and you go through fog banks, the ships get all tangled up. And then when it gets daylight, then they get back in order, you know.
Yeah.
And it took us 19 days from Halifax to Scotland. Well, ordinarily it'd take about 5 to 6 days.
Oh, really?
So we were going like this all over the place. Zigzagged all over.
Because of the nighttime.
That was right in the middle of submarine. Worst submarine threats at that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If Norman and I knew what they were doing out there, we'd never gotten into that outfit.
Because you mentioned Norman on your letter, didn't you?
Yeah. I don't know.
Who is Norman?
That was his friend that he went through the academy with.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my buddy.
He was the one that got him through the academy.
We worked. Yeah, he found this ad in the Mechanics Illustrated or something like that. Become an officer in the Merchant Marine, you know.
Yeah.
So send for this application. So we sent for application. Filled them out and mailed them in. He got called first, and then I got called about a week later.
Y'all same place?
Yeah.
Yeah. Merchant Marine
We
Academy.
had to go to New York, go to the Naval Induction Center, and have a physical.
Yeah.
And went through the physical. They sent us out to Kings Point, out to the academy. And we were stuck. We were there.
It was Norman's idea.
I'll blame it on Norman, huh?
Yeah. Otherwise, we would have been foot soldiers somewhere.
Well, that'd be worse, though, huh?
Well, we had it comfortable, plenty to eat, you know.
Yeah.
You saw that menu.
Foot soldier. I know Eric would have a few words
Yeah.
about how rough he has it compared to what you had at times.
Uncle TJ. And
Oh, we could bathe, you know, every day. Good food. On that merchant ship, I had my own cabin, my own cabin boy, and my waiter at the table.
You had it made, huh?
I had it.
Yeah, Eric doesn't have... Well, Eric has that because he's got guys working for him that still... He
Well,
gets to wade through the same crap that they do every day.
Reason they did that, they didn't... In peacetime, they had this crew, you know, the dining hall on the ship had their crews. Well, they didn't lay them guys off. They just kept them.
Yeah.
So they didn't have anything to do but take care of us.
That works.
like on a cruise ship, huh?
You know, yeah. Now, we were considered officers because they're special, you know.
Yeah.
Cadets didn't know. Won't even try behind the ears.
That's cool.
Time to go to bed.
Grandmommy's gonna be fussing in the morning, huh?
She'll be coming out here after me for long. Say, what happened to you?
So what time's church?
10?
10.
Leaving at 10:45?
9:45.
9:45, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd like that church. That's not like... It's not sophisticated at all. And they're friendly, well, just like a family.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
I'll work on it in the morning.
Yeah.
You and Larry can come with us too if you want.
We'll see. I really didn't bring any church clothes.
The pastor plays the keyboard. And then it's a little choir, you know, just about maybe 8 people. But this Linda Griffin, she's a good soloist.
Yeah, that's the big black lady that sang it.
Yeah.
Aunt Peanut's funeral.
And
Oh, you weren't in Aunt Peanut's.
her brother's in the choir. He's this big old black guy. He always wears nice clothes, though. He wears a suit and tie and
She sang
nice
it.
clothes.
Aunt Claire and Uncle James's funeral too.
Big black guy. It just reminds me of this. We got our bed. We just got a new bed the other day from Macy's, and they delivered it. And there was these 2 big, huge black guys that came and dropped it off. Those guys were working real hard though.
I've been thinking
They were
about
nice.
making some mattress carriers. You know, mattresses are hard to handle.
Yeah,
They really are.
because they're so floppy.
Yeah, there's
They're
nothing to
awkward.
catch a hold of. So I was thinking about making a bracket, triangular type bracket with a handle on it. You know,
Yeah.
we get the corner of the
Like a
mattress.
roller. Yeah.
Get the mattress in, the corner of the mattress in there. Like you have an upright, of course, with your handle and then one at this angle, and slip the mattress in between